people all across this great nation are in pain, and we have the cure. This new miracle drug, OxyContin. Largest sales force in pharmaceutical history. Your most effective talking point are these magic words.
Less than 1% of people get addicted to OxyContin.
That's not possible. Call it a miracle drug.
I think I can make this the biggest drug in the world.
A pharma company is lying about their medication.
We have to go after the makers of OxyContin.
Cure the world of its pain.
Dear diary, what a day it's been. Dear diary, it's been just like a train.
That's a family mistake.
Every single one of us was lied to about OxyContin.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Hey, Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
Hey, we the brothers from Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming at you with a spiritual review lesson.
That's right.
On this mini-series, Dopesick. Okay? First and foremost, we're going to say all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Lukakwadash.
Next, we want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone.
Shalom.
Truth.
Shalom.
And peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the house of David, Bayaf Dawadah. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
All right, so we're going to go straight into this series that's on Hulu called Dopesick, which is a real story. It's loosely based on true stories that occurred due to the opioid crisis, and it really shows how the opioid crisis began and who was at the forefront of it. Okay?
Yep.
And really just goes to show you how this man Esau has truly drugged and corrupted the minds of people through different means. Okay? And one of these means was through his pharmaceutical practices.
Yep.
Which we're gonna go into. Let me get that right quick.
You got it, bro.
It's Galatians.
It was nothing. It's really nothing but witchcraft, sorcery, man.
That's right.
You know, this man has the whole world basically drugged up. You know.
Yep.
And hey, this is the wicked. You know.
God. This is Galatians chapter 5 and verse 19. It reads, "Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: idolatry, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness." Verse 20, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, right? And the point in that 20th verse was witchcraft, okay? And when you look up that word witchcraft in the blue letter, it's G5331 pharmakia, okay? And it says the use or the administering of drugs, poisoning, sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. Right, so this man, through his medical practices, he administered drugs to the masses of the people and turned them out for worse.
Yeah.
You know, as you could see in the intro, that dude that was saying that he was gonna create a drug to cure the world of pain, so to speak. His name was Richard Sackler. Okay. And he was hell-bent on the idea of, I can create a drug, I can concoct something that will ultimately heal people. But this man is innately wicked, and he started to destroy the health and minds and spirits of numerous people.
Right.
Specifically Israel.
He said that they were going to redefine what pain was, right? So he had the people drugged up, you know, And what did he say that it was less than 1% addictive?
Right.
But they were prescribing an opioid. All right. And see, these people were becoming dependent on that shit, man. So when they didn't have it, you know, they couldn't really get over the pain and the mental trauma and the things that they were suffering, man. And Esau knew all that.
Yeah.
You know, that's why he's wicked, man. You know?
That's right. Yeah, the man was innately wicked because the scriptures talk about the proper usage of medicines, but this man went out of his way to try to concoct a new form of medicine. He thought to himself, you know what? The herbs ain't good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and concoct something that's more addictive, you know, because their whole perception was we have to create something that is one, going to generate wealth for the company, and two, keep people hooked to, you know, which was totally wicked, man.
So you have natural herbs and remedies, right, which is known as homeopathic, right? Homeopathic medicine, natural herbs, all right, oils from plants, okay, different fruits, vegetables, things like that. Then you got what Esau, what he uses is called allopathic medicine, all right, synthetic drugs, all right, which we getting into, okay, which are made in laboratories, all right, mind and body altering drugs, which is ultimately what? Sorcery, witchcraft, right? And like the Apostle Rambam was bringing out a while ago, you know, Esau, he's the priesthood on the left hand side, okay? This is him pushing his false pseudoscience, which destroyed the minds and bodies of many people. You know?
It was radical usage, man. Because you have people that would say, if I feel like I'm on it, I'm gonna die. If I'm not on it, I feel like I'm dying. You know? What perception of you healing the world is that, man?
Right.
This is a destructive individual showing you the true nature of this devil, man. You know? Our people downplay his actions, but what he has done to our people is totally against the scriptures, man. You know? I got a quick precept just to land back off of what the brother was going into with the homeopathic drug usage, which was the natural healing herbs available through the earth. This is Sirach chapter 38. Let's start at verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the usage which ye may have of him. For the Lord Yahweh have created him.
That's right.
Right. So the true physicians, right, they understand that there is a higher power for one. Okay? And they were given a certain way on how to heal people. Okay, verse 2. For the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Verse 3. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. Right, so just again, like the physician understood who the true power was in the matter of healing, man. You know, it always was Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth.
That's right.
He that is wise will not abhor them. And that word abhor means to have disgust.
Yep.
You know?
Or avoid it.
Right. Which is what this man has totally done. This man is unwise according to the scripture that we just read. Okay? Because the medicines that we have of this earth, they are purposeful and they get the job done, man. They're free, they're abundant, you know. But we're gonna attach a clip of this dude, Eunice, forgot his last name, but he basically just goes into how this man sought out to try and control, you know, the entire pharmaceutical industry, man. You know, and have them lean into a allopathic way. Yeah. You know, through their synthetic drugs, man.
Right. The FDA bans homeopathic remedies when you look it up. All right.
And the only thing that these drugs had in common was that they were enormously expensive. Now, in contrast, most of nature's remedies are enormously inexpensive. They're available, they're abundant, they're cheap, which means that the medical monopoly did not want you to use any of these medications. They wanted the greatest achievement of the modern drug trust was the invention of the $1,000 pill. They have now they have one pill which costs $1,000, which you use in cancer and various things. And nature, unfortunately, has never learned how to make a $1,000 pill. So obviously, nature is no good as far as the medical monopoly is concerned.
Well, tell us a little bit, just before we get into that also, there's a difference between homeopathic medicine and allopathic, and that's part of what we're discussing also. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would, Eustace Mullins.
Well, what you're talking about is a historic situation. In the 19th century, most Americans thrived on what is called homeopathic medicine, which is mostly naturopathic remedies available through nature in abundance at low cost. Well, the medical monopoly, which was formed in 1847 as the American Medical Association, they didn't like this. They thought, how are doctors going to get rich, and how are we going to control the people through the medical monopoly when they can go to these homeopathic people and get these remedies at very low cost? So the first plank of the AMA was, we will never allow any homeopathic physician to become a member of the AMA, and they never have. So, but the AMA was still in a minority. So around the turn of the century, John D. Rockefeller realized there were great potentialities of profit in the medical industry, and so he took over the medical profession. Now you say, how could anybody take over the medical profession? Well, first you have to have a lot of money, and second you have a lot of power. Well, he had both, and he did. So he revamped the entire medical system of treatment of the people of the United States, which had been homeopathic. He switched it over to allopathic medicine.
And as he was going into, the knowledge of the tree barks, the roots, plants, herbs, vegetables, fruits, essential oils, all those things, man. The natural way which was created out of the earth. That's why I said, he that is wise will not abhor them. All right? A man with wisdom is going to use the natural, homeopathic way, so to speak,
God. Got the next scripture. Sirach 30:25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. Specifically like, the meat intake that you consume and your diet. But hey, what you consume in your body is very important, man. The usage of these opioids, these people were going to these physicians of no value, trusting in them and saying like, yo, doc, I have acute back pain. I feel like I can't move, And they were given these hopes and wonders that Esau concocted in these allopathic drugs to try and have them swayed into thinking like, nah, this is the way.
Exactly.
And then at the end of the day, they got fucked because they weren't taking heed or taking care of their body. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They trusted in him. You know what I'm saying? Because what do? You go to the doctor, and what does he do? He prescribe you more opioids,
Right. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business before anything, man.
Absolutely.
If you could get me Job 13 and 4.
All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 13 and verse 4. And it reads, it says, but you are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value.
All of these medical doctors, these doctors,
Mm-hmm.
you look at what they do in their practices throughout the course of centuries, man, and what value has it brought? It's been more of trial and error than anything.
Yep.
When you can participate in a homeopathic way and you have an assurance of what you're going to obtain, especially when you have that connection to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Those two remedies are the biggest components of healing. You know what I'm saying? No synthetic drug can compare to the magnitude that a homeopathic drug and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, combined can have.
Yeah.
But these physicians have no value, man.
Right. That's the mindset that he's shifted in the earth to make people believe in him. Okay.
Right.
I got the answer for your problems. You take this, take that. Meanwhile, all types of side effects. People are dying. Look what's going on the earth now. All right, with the juice.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, when you look at commercials and they'll be like, have you or a loved one suffered from, and then they just start listening. You're going to be entitled to, man, that's these physicians, man. This is the value that they bring. They're very unvaluable, man.
Come.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get Job 9 and 20.
All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. And it reads, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
And we see who's managed to try to deface the icons and the faces of the true biblical Israelites, which are your so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Esau, the so-called white man. Okay? And when he was given this world to conduct wickedness, one of the elements that he had control over was pharmacy. Okay? And when he started to push out these different agendas to pump out drugs into the big pharma with their allopathic ways, I mean, look at what he was able to bring out of that, man.
Okay.
It was of no value, because you have people that were really trusting in, you know, these opioids and leaning into them. But this man is innately wicked.
Okay.
So what is his purpose going to match up with? Wickedness.
Right.
You know?
Shit.
You get that, Isaiah?
Isaiah chapter 47, and start at what verse you want?
Start at verse 9.
All right, Isaiah 47 and 9, it says, But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
Right, so, hey, you're going to have to atone for what you've done, man. You know? All of the wickedness that you sought in this world, you're going to have to atone for your actions, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has not forgotten of your iniquities. You know?
Yep. All his witchcraft, sorcery, pharmakia, technology, everything, man. Everything that he's used in this world to deceive and destroy, you know? He has to pay for that. Verse 10, Isaiah 47 and 10, it says, For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, None seeth me.
And that's what this man has thought, man. You know, throughout his whole practices, when you look into the Sheckler family and what they did and how they conducted their ways, you know, they tried to, you know, buy off, you know, the doctors. They tried to buy off the FDA, the DOJ, the federal government, all these different components to try and conceal the truth of the matter, which was that people was getting addicted.
Yeah.
They had the saying that only 1% of patients experience addiction. But in reality, it was 100%, man.
Yeah. But people were dying.
People were dying, man.
Okay. Isaiah 47:10, For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, None seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Kind of sit on that. I mean, you look at, like, just looking at his practices, man. You know?
Right.
This dude managed to chart out how he was going to try and attack, you know, the world of pharmacy. You know? He trusted in the wisdom and knowledge that was wicked. You know?
Which is really not knowledge.
Right.
He trusted in that left hand.
Right.
You know?
But hey, Esau, you can't gain immunity from the judgment that's gonna come to you, man. You know? Because everything that you did, you're gonna have to take account for.
That's right.
You know, the Sheckler family, they recently tried to gain immunity from any any charges that would come against them in the court of law. So no charges they would be immune from any lawsuits, anything like that. You know? But ultimately, you're not gonna be immune from the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man.
Hey, that's why the scriptures say, well, he's not in trouble. Right, other men, let me get that real quick. Okay. That's all the spirit. Right? I think this is Psalm 73 and verse 5. And it reads, matter of fact, I'll start at 3 and read down to 5. Psalm 73 verse 3 says, For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, meaning no remorse. All right? And these devils take pride in what they do, you know, in their wickedness. It says, For there is no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. It says, verse 5 on point, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men, like the brother was saying, you know. Having the power to have immunity from these lawsuits after all this death and addiction that you've created throughout the earth, man.
Right.
You know?
Because look at you, these dudes was nothing but, you know, glorified white collar drug dealers, man.
Okay.
You know, what about the BMFs? You know what I'm saying? You got Jake doing the same thing, you know, selling drugs. Not excusing them for the wickedness that they've done. But hey, this man isn't experiencing no type of judgment for his actions. This man has escaped judgment every time, bro.
Let me get this. I'm gonna add on to that. Zechariah 11:5. Let me get that real quick. All right, Zechariah 11:5 says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty." And the reason why I brought that out, because this man has been going around the earth slaying, man, with the sword. You know, and he hasn't been held guilty. He's able to, like you said, he's able to bypass. He's able to get around shit. Look what happens in this system today. You know, these devils that commit acts of murder, they get off because of some, you know, clause or some, you know, whatever. Like they're never held accountable. But like the brother was saying, we're in a time where Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to hold them accountable, right? You know, I just want to make that point.
Beautiful point, bro. And just we're gonna keep feeding off of that, man, because judgment is coming onto those that participated in that opioid crisis, man. You know, that actively were partaking in that and reaping the benefits, man, and choose to not hold themselves accountable nor feel any remorse, man. All right, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has not forgotten about you, man.
Nope.
This is Revelations 18, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai have remembered her iniquities.
That's right.
Right, and that's going more into, you know, Babylon. But hey, what has Babylon promoted? These people getting off and being able to run willy, and, you know, even cultivate an opioid crisis to begin with, man. Because, you know, the government structure was in cahoots with these companies, man.
Yeah.
When you look into it, Purdue Pharma was buying off people from the FDA, the Department of Justice, you know, all different branches of the government, man. They were buying off power, you know.
Heavy.
Continuing on, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works.
That's right.
Right, man. So hey, you look at the track record of this country. You know, you look at the track record of what they've done, all the wickedness that they've done and promoted. It's not gonna be a good look when that double cup come against them, man.
Yeah.
You know,
they Babylon, these Edomites, man, they made billions and trillions of dollars off what? Drugs, sorcery, you know, sex trafficking, pedophile rings and shit, guns, murder. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so that's why the Lord said, what? Double unto her double. Okay? And we are in a time of exposure. That's why we did this lesson. Because this is all part of this man being exposed and falling, man. All his wickedness, everything that you thought that was in the dark is come to light, you know?
Continuing on. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously.
Yeah, you see? That's Babylon. Glorified herself, lived deliciously. Not a care in the world. All this wickedness that they promoted throughout the earth, the lies, you know, the lives that were taken behind this man.
Right.
In the name of medicine. You know? Come on, man.
So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am a widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Yeah, see, and that's pride. That this place ain't gonna never get touched. It's never gonna see sorrow, but see, we're in a time now where the judgment is going down, man. Okay, this place is about to be dethroned. All right, Babylon's getting at the top of Isaiah 47. All right, there is no power, there is no throne. You know.
Right, and that's it's Babylon's influence throughout not only this country, but throughout the world has echoed, man. You know, because when Purdue Pharma's OxyContin started to, you know, really face backlash in the United States and Babylon, what did? They decided to turn ties to the international scope. So they wanted to go ahead and start to drug up all these other different heathen nations,
That's
man.
the spirit.
You know? I'm going to get this right quick.
God.
This is Jeremiah 51:7.
That ties right into that.
God. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken.
Khan, that's why it tells you in Psalms 37 that I've seen the wicked spread himself like a green bay tree, all right? And a green bay tree is super huge, man. And this man has spread himself all over the world, man, in spreading wickedness, death culture.
God.
You know, that anti-Messiah spirit. Read that again now.
God. Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand.
Khan.
That made all the earth drunken.
Yeah, he made all the earth drunken, like the brother said. He wanted to expand his empire. So now, not only did he want to drug up all of the Babylonians, Americans, he extended it to what? The other nations.
God.
Got them hooked on the drugs. So that literally plays into that. How he made the whole earth drunken.
God.
You know? And that's on a physical level. And he's done that spiritually as well. These different philosophies, this westernized culture, democracy. You know? Go ahead.
The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, the nations are mad. You see? The twofold, literally out of their minds because they've been intoxicated with the wines of Babylon. And then on top of that, they're mad at America because those waves, right? That this culture has destroyed their nations, man.
It's a death culture. You know, you look at all these different countries like Libya, the Middle East. You know, these were places that had established, you know, cultures and belief systems and ideologies. You know what I'm saying? But America came through and just ravished them, man.
Yep.
You know, and left their lands totally desolate. You know, from a physical point and a mental point, man. You know, this man literally fits the description to a T. This man is innately wicked, man, and he has to pay for what he's done. Okay.
I got something real quick.
Okay.
This is because you talked about how they, you know, spread themselves amongst the nations and destroyed them, right? It's Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, all right, these philosophies, pushing his sorcery and witchcraft amongst the world. It says, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, okay? He's everywhere, right? Who enlargeth his desire as hell and as his death, all right? Everywhere this man spreads himself, what follows? Death, destruction, right? It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So yeah, this man, like we just read in Jeremiah 51, all right? He has the whole world drunk, and he's everywhere with wickedness, man.
Right.
You know, spreading his philosophies, his sorcery or whatnot, idolatry. You know?
God.
You got that?
Yeah, man, and these Edomites, they don't feel no sorrow or remorse. That's the most amazing part of it, is that they see these things that they've done and they don't have any type of remorse. You know, in the video that that's gonna be played, Kathy Shackler, one of the Shackler family members, was unforgiven for her actions in the opioid crisis.
Exactly.
You know, she blamed it rather on the people that were the addicts, you know what I'm saying, and the people that had suscepted themselves under the addiction of this Oxycontin drug, man. You know, always blaming it on the drug and the addicts. But who was the one that manufactured it, man? Who was the one that came up with this bright idea to create an allopathic drug when there were natural remedies in the earth that you could have promoted instead, man?
Will you apologize to the American people for the role you played in the opioid crisis, Dr. Sackler?
I would be happy to apologize to the American people for all of the pain they've suffered. I think that...
I know you're angry, and I'm sorry, but that's not the apology we were looking for. You apologize for the pain people have suffered, but you've never apologized for the role that you played in the opioid crisis. So I'll ask you again, will you apologize for the role you played in the opioid crisis?
I have struggled with that question. I have asked myself over many years. I have tried to figure out, is there anything that I could have done differently, knowing what I knew then, not what I know now? And I have to say, I can't, there's nothing that I can find that I would have done differently based on what I believed and understood then, and what I learned from management and the reports to the board, and what I learned from my colleagues on the board.
Okay, this is Revelations 9 and 21. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their theft. Right, man? These dudes, these elitists, you know what I'm saying? These Edomites, they're not going to repent, man. You know, they're not fit for repentance. You know, the pride of this devil has blinded him to what's really coming, man.
Okay.
He don't see that his judgment's coming, man.
Yeah, scriptures say that he didn't consider his latter end.
God.
You know, you thought you was gonna be a lady forever, as the scriptures say, man. All right, but now is your time to be judged, to fall, to get destroyed. Okay. Ultimately, recompense, man. God. You know, the reward is coming, man. He's lived, like we read Revelation 18. He's lived deliciously. When you live deliciously, you live and you don't give a shit. You just living.
Right.
You know how you want to live. Mm-hmm. You know, and now the Lord is about to bring an end to that.
Con.
You know.
Con. Got a quick precept.
Con.
Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goes before destruction.
That's right.
And a haughty spirit before a fall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's coming to these Edomites, man. That Sheckler family that fostered in this entire opioid crisis upon the masses.
And they 48ers too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They originated out of Germany, man.
Come.
You know, they came to America, and they were trying to go and obtain like an education in New York, but they were being casted out because these Americans, these Babylonians, they don't even like these 48ers, man.
Come.
You know, they were being barred from different universities in New York. You know.
Heavy.
Because they know about y'all, man. These dudes are the border of wickedness, man.
Come.
Even when the own wicked determine like, now these niggas is wicked.
Come.
That says something about you, man.
Come.
And you lived up to it. Bravo. You lived up to it. You started an entire opioid crisis for what? Because you felt like you was gonna be able to create a drug industry that could solve the world's pain. You caused more pain. You inflicted more pain than you healed, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the destruction of families, the destructions of the home bodies. You know, the body of the home. You know, the workmen that were out here laboring. You know what I'm saying? Trying to just get by. You destroyed that, man.
Okay. I got something real quick.
Come.
This is Psalms 55, verse 21 to 23. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Mm-hmm. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. All right. So this man is he's always ready to wound you. He's always ready to hurt you. All right. That's who he is. Verse 22. Psalms 55:22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and he shall sustain thee. Ooh. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Verse 23. The point, it says, but thou, O power, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. You see? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, like I said, the bloody and deceitful men are not going to live out half their days, because we're in a time of this man's judgment now.
Yep.
Okay, he's getting ready to be visited. He's gonna be destroyed. You know.
Read that 22nd verse again, Bible Shop.
Psalm 55 verse 22. It says, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved."
Right. Cast your burdens upon the Lord, man. You know, your physical infirmities that you may go through. Hey, understand that Yahweh Shemel Shai is the ultimate healer. You know, not these different pharmaceutical companies, because they're all a businessman.
Come.
And we know that this man's business model is nothing but to benefit himself, man.
Right.
And ultimately keep you coming back. That's the business model. You know?
Come.
So I'm gonna get this right quick. This is Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12.
Come.
For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaister that restored them to health, but thy word, O Yahweh, which healeth all things. Right? So knowing that the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is the greatest healer, you know? All those physical infirmities that you may be facing, you know, those opioids or these different type of drugs, this pharmakia is not the way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The way is, you know, ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and using these natural remedies, man.
Mm-hmm.
These natural herbs. Okay?
Sure.
I'm gonna get this right quick and then we close out. Sirach, jump back into Sirach 38. Sirach 38 and 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. Alright, so hey, turning to our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that's the greatest healer, man.
Okay.
That's who's coming to heal us of these infirmities that, you know, a lot of Israelites that are being subjected to these opioids right now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because this opioid crisis that started in these, you know, Edomite communities has now trickled down into, you know, Israel, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see it front and center with these different rappers that rap about Percocets and lean and, you know, all these different cocaine, all these different things, man.
Yeah, we live in a society where everybody's drugged up. You know, cocaine, pills, alcohol, whatever it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody on something.
Right.
You know, but that's all because of this man. This man has pushed that onto the world.
Okay.
You know.
Yep. Yeah. So that's pretty much the lesson. You know.
Okay.
You know, Lord willing that this was an edifying lesson. Okay. I'm gonna close out by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash.
Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth, and peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Bayaf Dawadah. Shalom.
Hey, shalom.